welcome back to my channel. My name is Bailey and this is Bagels Books. So today we are going to be talking about all the books I read in December. So I have them all written down because I have none of them with me. So the first one I read was Delta County, and it is by J.L. Hyde, I believe is her name. This is a book somebody at work let me borrow because we were talking about how much I like thrillers, and we were just talking about books. And she was like, I have this book that you have to read. Like, the ending blew my mind. So she let me borrow it, which is why I don't have it. But it's about this woman when she graduated high school. Her parents, like the night of her graduation, her parents got in a car wreck with a drunk driver and they both passed away. And so this is her coming back, I want to say 10 years later, and coming back to her hometown for her high school reunion. And something else happens, and so she's trying to figure out the crime that happened when she came back and the crime that happened to her parents. They know who did it, but it's starting to seem like that's not the right person, and there's just questions being answered, and the ending is actually really crazy. Like, the ending was crazy. The whole twist was crazy. I read other books from this author now, which I'll talk about, and her endings are always like, what? Like, the actual book, it's interesting. Like, it's interesting enough, but I would say like the actual book is 3 stars, but the ending and like the twist she does is where it gets crazy. And the author is from Oklahoma, which is Oklahoma. I thought Tulsa, but I think just Oklahoma. That's all it says on the back, which is really cool. The next book I read was called Shipped by Angie Hockman. This was just a book that my Kindle app was like, hey, you might like this book. And it's like a romance book. It was really cute. It's compared to The Hating Game and something vacation-y. Not People We Meet on Vacation. Unhoneymooners. That's right, by Christina Lauren. So it's kind of like a combo of the two. This woman works for this company, and it is like a cruise line, and she's in the marketing department, and her like worst enemy in the company, her and him are up for a promotion. But they're going to give the promotion to the person who makes the greatest pitch after they go on this cruise, and they both need to come up with a pitch, like a marketing pitch for that specific cruise, like, you know, like how you can get a cruise to Alaska, like that specific cruise location. Because neither of them had been on one of the company's cruises. And yeah, and of course it's a romance. So on the cruise, things start happening, and then she starts realizing, oh, maybe he's not a piece of crap like I thought I was. So it was really cute, and it was very clean. If you're interested in a more clean romance as opposed to like spicy ones, this one was very, very clean, very cute. The next book I listened to, it is A Faint Cold Fear by Karin. It is the 3rd one in the Blindsided series, so I'm not going to talk about it because I talk about Blindsided multiple times because every month I read one, it seems like. But this is just a 3rd one in that series. It's 3 perspectives. One's a cop, one is a doctor / medical examiner, and one is another cop. And each book is like a different case, but they all reference things that happened in the previous books. Very good. Love that series. The next one I read, The Dead Romantics. I got it off of a hold from my library, and it is very good. There's a lot of hype around it. I don't remember who wrote it. Ashley Poston, I want to say is her name, but I could be wrong, but I'm sure Joe will put a picture up. But this one was so cute. It's like a romance, but it's very different in the fact that the main character is a ghostwriter for a very famous romance author. And at the very beginning of this book, I don't think it'd be a spoiler, but her dad dies at the very beginning. And so a lot of it is her going back to her hometown for like the funeral. But her family owns a funeral home, and she can see ghosts who haven't like passed on. So It's like a supernatural romance kind of thing. It had me feeling a lot of things. Like, it made me sad because of the talk of grief with her dad. It was like cutesy because of the romance. But it also kind of made me mad because the main character was doing things that I was like, you know, where it's like, go get the person kind of thing. So I was getting like mad. I was like, she is not about to just walk away. You know what I mean? But it was very cute. And I was kind of curious, like, how is this author going to end this book? Which you'll see if you read it, or if you have read it, you'll kind of know what I'm saying. Like, in the middle of it, I'm like, how is this book going to end? Like, how is that going to work? Okay, it's like a romance with a ghost. So I'm like, what's your plan here, lady? How are you going to be in a relationship with a ghost? But it ended really cute, and I love how it ended. It is very good. Very good. The next book I read was called Breely, and this is by Samantha March, who is actually a YouTuber. She does beauty YouTube. She writes books. She's been writing books longer than she's been on YouTube, I think. But this is, a few years ago, she started a series. This is the 4th one, I think. So I've read the other 3 and it just came out. So I was like, oh, I'll pick it up. It's kind of like a friendship girl fiction. It's just like a group of girls, and each book is a different girl in the friend group. Like her perspective and what's going on in her life. But of course you see the other ones and kind of continuations of the stories that we've been learning about before. But it's this 6 friends living in Chicago, and like girl drama and stuff like that. It's mostly just drama. But they're really short, and I did really enjoy it. Like, I enjoy the books, so. I don't know what I rated it, though. I probably should have wrote that down. My guess is 3 stars. Delta County, I think I gave 4. Shipped, I think I gave 3. A Faint Cold Fear, I know I gave that one 4 stars. The Dead Romantics, I don't remember if I gave it 4 or 5, because it was really good. Breely, I think I gave 3. And the next book I read, I listened to, and it is, oh, I have this one. The Maze Runner, even though I listened to it, but I have it. So I thought I would hold it up, even though I listened to it on Libby, because I just thought that'd be faster. Even though now that I'm looking at it, oh well. The words are a little bit smaller than I was anticipating, but The Maze Runner, this is definitely a reread for me. I mentioned it a while back that I really wanted to reread it. Finally got to it. It's fine, months later, but I did it. If you don't know what this is about, I don't even know what to tell you. It's been out for a million years, and you should have already read it. That's all I know. When did it come out, people? 2009. Are you kidding me? We all know what this is about. It is a movie with Dylan O'Brien. Love him. You know what this is about. I'm not even going to explain it. Look it up if you don't know. Sass. So those are all the books I read in December. Pretty good. And now, it is currently January 8th. Wow. And I'm going to tell you my plans for January / the books I already read, because it's January 8th and I've already started reading, of course. So, the first book I read is, one moment please, Summer of '99 by J.L. Hyde. It is the same author who wrote Delta County. There she is. This one is very different. Like, it doesn't really have anything to do with Delta County. This one is about a girl who starts going to a summer camp in 97? 96? 97? I think 97. And it's maybe 97. It's like a 2-week summer camp. She starts going in 97, but the whole time you're like going from the past to the future. So you know something happens at camp the summer of 99. But it starts with her first time at camp, the people she meets, all that. Slowly goes to the next year and stuff like that. You get to 99, but like I said, the whole time you're also jumping back to the future, getting the future perspective, and then people died. I'm sure that was obvious. I don't know. 2 people died at camp, and you don't know who at first. For a while, you don't know who it was. You don't know what happened, obviously, or who did it, of course. The whole book, you're trying to figure out who did it. Like, even in the present, they don't know who did it. So, X amount of years later, I don't know, they're reopening the camp. Does it say how many years? 23 years. It was closed. So 23 years later, they like reopened the camp. It's renovated, remodeled, all that. There's a statue for the people who passed away, all that. So she is invited to go back to the first year of camp. All the old campers, or like people who'd gone to the camp, are invited back this summer. It reopens. Once again, they don't know who did it. So you don't know if that person's coming back to camp and all that. I don't think this is a spoiler, but the main character in this book, her name's Quinn, I think. Quinn. Yes, Quinn writes a book about what happened on the summer of '99. I'm sure the book is called Summer of '99 that she wrote. So it's like a true crime book she wrote from her perspective of what happened that summer and the events, and talking about the possible people who did it. So a lot of people don't like her 23 years later because, I mean, she talked about every single suspect. So people kind of think like, wow, you made this person's life crap because you suggested they were the killer. Even though she was like, I talked about everybody. I talked about myself. I talked about my best friend. Like, every chapter was a perspective of somebody else. Like, it wasn't like I specifically pointed out anybody. Anyway, so she's got enemies. That's all I gotta say. Very good. And at the very end, it sort of references what happens in Delta County, but very briefly at the very end. So, doesn't necessarily have anything to do with it, but it mentions it. Kind of like Stephen King does in his books. So, I already read that one. This one is Midnight in Delta County. So, this is the third book. I'm gonna put this down. This one does, like, you have to read the other two before you read this one. So, this one kind of ties up both books because they both end in like a, what the fuck? Wait. So, this one ties up both of them. Oh, I think I gave that one 4 stars. Well, I'm not, oops, shouldn't have said that already. But that's for another video. This one ties up both stories. Very good. I didn't like it as much as the other ones, but it's still really good, and you have to read it to know what the heck happened. So, I don't think I'm going to say much about it because it's the third book. And more murders happen, is all I'm going to say. And they're trying to figure that out. The next book is The Scorch Trials, which is the second to the Maze Runner book. I'm going to listen to this one. I haven't started it, but this is the one I plan to read. It's the sequel to Maze Runner. You'll figure it out. The next book, I just picked this one up at Barnes & Noble last night, and I started reading it last night, and I'm really enjoying it so far. Hopefully I'll be able to finish it this week if work allows me. Work has not been allowing me to read books. It's been absolutely insane, and I barely even peed. So this is called The Night Shift by Alex Finlay. I think I don't know if that video will be up yet, but I've mentioned him before, but I don't know if you would have seen it yet. So this one is, it's New Year's Eve, 1999, which is, you know, when Y2K was going to happen, so everyone's in a tizzy. But that night, there are 4 teenagers working late at a Blockbuster, and they were attacked, and then one survived. So they quickly identify a suspect, the boyfriend of one of the victims, who flees and is never seen again. And then this is 15 years later. 4 teenagers are attacked again at an ice cream store in the same town, and one person survives again. So they're trying to figure out, is this the same person? Because if it is, it's this guy who we think did it last time, but we haven't seen him since because he's fled. And there's a ton of different perspectives. So you have a perspective of the final girl from the first murder, of the final girl from the second murder, a cop, and a lawyer who is the younger brother of the boyfriend they think did the first murder. So the second murder, the FBI is involved, which is the cop perspective you get, to try to find the guy they think did the first one and see if it's even possible he did the second one. Some things happen that make them think it has to be the first killer. I'm not gonna say that because I feel like that's a spoiler, but I don't know, I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, I picked it up last night at like freaking 10 or 11, I don't remember. And I read a lot of it, and the only reason I stopped is because my eyeballs couldn't stay open much longer. But I'm really enjoying this. I really liked his other book. Oh, there it is, Every Last Fear. So I really liked that when I listened to it. So I've been wanting to pick this one up, and when I went to Barnes & Noble yesterday, I just saw it there, and I was like, perfect. And I love mass market paperbacks. I know some people don't, because they're tiny. But I love them because they're tiny. Anyway, I plan on finishing this one, obviously. Really, really enjoying it. Another one I want to read is, so I have a book club with my two friends who like reading. I have currently named it, as of today, As It Reads. Now, I don't think you can see my Harry Styles clock over here. Nope. Let me see if I can move you. Oh, there it is. That's my Harry Styles clock. So I love Harry Styles. So I named the book club As It Reads instead of As It Was. We did this in 2021. My friends and I, each month, one of us would pick a book. So we stopped, I think, halfway in the year in 2021. I started school. It was terrible. My friend was in school, I think. I can't remember if she was in school yet, but my other friend was in school. So it was just like too much, especially for me. I was like, listen, guys, nursing school sucks and I can't read anything. So we stopped. And then a few days ago, one of our friends was like, I miss our book club. And I was like, let's do it again. Let's try to do it again. So I picked the book this time because they couldn't figure anything out. They're like, I don't know. I was like, I'll figure something out real quick. Let me look on my shelf. So I picked this one. It is The Queen of Mystery, Agatha Christie, The Murder of Ferret Styles. Do I know anything about it? No. It's the first Hercule Poirot book. This is featuring a missing chapter. What? I didn't know that. But I'm assuming it's just going to be a classic mystery. I don't really want to read the back, but it's very short, which I figured would be good because my other two friends are still in school, so I try to pick a short one. I like mysteries, so usually each one of us picks, because my friends like other genres, like they don't really read mystery thrillers at all. So I usually pick something I think they might like, but also I'll like, and then they'll pick, like I had a friend pick a sci-fi, a fantasy, a classic. So like they get me to read outside my box, but I wanted to pick something in my box, but also I thought that they would like. So I figured this has got to be great. It's a classic. I don't think either of them had read Agatha Christie, and I've been wanting to read this. It's a 5-star prediction for me if you've seen that video. So I'm very excited to get to this one. Good Old Murder Mystery by Agatha Christie. Now the last one I plan on reading, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this because it's on my Kindle. My little Kindle here. Can you see that? Let's see. Oh, you can see The Wishtress. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Oh, circle. It's in a circle, so it's cute. By Nadine Brandis. So Jordan over here on YouTube, Bookish Jam. She also has an Instagram. But she's starting a book club this year, and it's every other month, and it is a fantasy book club, which I'm trying to become a fantasy girly this year, and this book club could not have come at a more perfect time for me. So this is her first book pick in January, so I'm going to read that one. Very excited for it. I know nothing about it, literally at all, other than on the cover it says, her tears grant wishes, her next terror will end her life. That's all I know about it. And that's all I want to know about it. So yeah, those are the books I'm hoping to read in January. I think I'll get to those. Well, this one I have to get to. This one I have to get to. And this one I'm in the middle of. So I think I'll succeed. Ooh, I think there was one more. Hang on. One moment, please. Oh, yes. Another one I want to read is called Indelible. I think that's how you pronounce it. It is the 4th in the Blindsided Grant County series. So I have that one on Audible. So if I finish Scorch Trials, that'll be the next one I listen to. So those are all the books I plan to read in January. And I think I'll do it. I mean, I'm on my 3rd book already, and it's the 8th? It's the 8th. So I'm doing pretty good. Thank you guys for watching. What did you read in December? What was your favorite thing you read all year last year? And then what was the first book you read this year? January, the first book.